learn about it. So you don't have much option ahead of you. Do you know this gentleman? Too young to know him? Jordan, Michael Jordan. This is from Wikipedia. They have this very massive stone that they have written the amount of success that he has. Nobody has broke his record. How many times he has been the best player, the amount of scores he had, all these things. I mean, he's an idol for basketball players, for sportsmen, for normal human being. He is really very cool. And he has a very famous quote. I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. So we are talking about the person who nobody has reached close to his record. I have lost almost 300 games, and 26 times I took a shot which I was sure I will score it and I failed to score it. It is like the bull that you thought that, okay, this is the moment that I can take the tail, and there was no tail at the end of the bull. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. So in other words, he accepted why he failed. He kept the statistics of his failure. How many times have you failed? How many of you know how many times you have failed? Can you stand up and tell me that 25 times? You know, this is very, very, astonishing to see that somebody has the statistic of his or her own failure. Keeping the statistics means that you are accepting what you have done wrong and you are learning from what you have done wrong. And then, as a result, you will be somebody that nobody can come close to you. So always appreciate and accept, and be the first one who will congratulate the teammates. And let's do a challenge, let's do a challenge. The challenge is that go ahead, if some of your friends are successful, put their photo in the Facebook, in the Instagram, in the Twitter. Create the hashtag I appreciate you. This is how the thing starts. And then you will start to see that many people will start to appreciate you. And it's a very nice feeling when you see that people are appreciating. You will start to feel some closeness. You will start to see that you will be surrounded by the people who are as successful as you are. And remember, you are all unique. It means that if you are lots of successful, unique people next to each other, then it makes you unstoppable. It makes you to always running, because you are all unique, you are complementing each other, and you are all successful. So appreciate one another and accept the loss that you have. So let's make in the form that the Finnair is one of the first companies that will do this, I appreciate you. Do that one, and then you will see that it will also get back to you. The moment you appreciate, the moment that you accept your loss, is actually the moment that you will have peace with yourself. Because if you go and appreciate somebody's win, when you lost that match, when you lost that event, when you lost that thing, it means that you are peaceful with yourself, you are happy with yourself, you are happy with your try. You tried and you didn't get it, for whatever reason. We are unique. Maybe if you were not sleeping 10 hours, maybe you would win. Maybe if your cat was not breaking the vase and you were not spending time on cleaning it, or your brain was not sad, maybe you would win. Because we are not all in the same situation, so we cannot really compare the two situations, two states. But the moment that you come and appreciate the person's success, it means that you understand you have done a massive job by yourself. And for that particular scenario, you were not the top one. And it doesn't mean that you will not be top one in the next event or in the next competition or whatever you have. The moment that you are accepting you have lost, it means that it is the moment that you are grabbing the opportunity. Because you have learned what is wrong. The person who wins does not know if he does something else he will lose, but you know. In other words, it's like that in a game, computer game, you are walking in a maze and you are being killed. And next time, you already have been killed once, so you know that you should not follow that path. But the person who was succeeding he or she does not know that this is a bad path. In other words, even if you lose, you are learning something much, much more valuable. Leader and bosses. How many leaders do we have here? I understand that you have lots of groups, lots of leaders. How many leaders do we have here? 1, 2, 2 leaders, 3 leaders. How many managers? Yeah, I don't know how the system works in here. Being a leader is a very, very difficult task. I don't know if you know it or not, because it means the difference between a leader and a normal worker is that the leader must do a normal worker's job plus an extra work. Because the general form of the leadership is that you are not become somebody who comes on a different desk and just look at other people's work and evaluate other people's work. The moment you can consider yourself leader is that you are as you were before, except you have to assure that everybody else are doing also their job, not that you will stop doing the job. This is very, very important sayings between the leaders and the bosses. Try to avoid to be a boss. The leader is the one who can teach you why and how to do a work. In other words, the person is already doing the work, and he or she is actually the best. That's why that the person is the leader. But the boss is not necessarily the best. They just tell you that you have to do it. You have to win. You have to play the game. You have to succeed. How? I don't know. Because if they knew, they wouldn't be a boss. They would be a leader. The bosses are the people who can only command and order. But the leaders are the people who can actually do the job and do the task. And that's why that when you are comparing the groups, the ones that they are being led by a leader, and the ones who are being managed by the bosses or the managers, I'm not saying the managers are bad, you will see that the performance of the team, the spirit, the moral of the teams which are being led by a proper leader is always way higher. The performance is much better. Why? Because they have one extra force, which means the leader is all doing the job. In the ones which they have only the boss and the manager, they have less number of forces because there are some people who are sitting and doing nothing except, yeah, we have a final goal. And they don't understand. Everybody knows what is the final goal. Everybody knows that the company should win. Everybody knows that you have to increase the sale and so on. Now, there is very important aspects that we have to understand. You are all working in this company because you are all smart. You are all unique. If you were bad, I mean, some of you are accountant, I know that. If you are bad with numbers, you wouldn't work in here. They wouldn't employ you anyway, right? I mean, I'm bad in accounting, so with high probability, I would never be. I would never apply, and even if I apply, I would never get the job. So if you are here and doing the job that you wanted, it means that you are very smart. And remember this sentence by Steve Jobs that it doesn't make sense to bring the smart people to the team and then tell them what to do. You want to bring the team, the smart people into the team, to ask them to contribute into the value of the team. In other words, if it happens that you are a manager, it happened that till now you were the person who was telling the people go, who were telling the people what to do, maybe it's a moment to change it. And then you can see the performance that what happens. Instead of what to do, tell them how to do it, why they have to do it, motivate them that why they have to do it. Because everybody can see the end line. I mean, you don't need to wave the flag. We can see what is the end line. So, and if you don't do it, it means that you don't have a good team. You don't have the smart people. And do you know why you don't have a smart people? Because then it means that you are not a smart person, that you did not get the smart people in. So it always gets back to you. So if you do not believe in your team, then it means that you are in a very bad position because you brought the people that you don't believe in it. So it means you don't believe in yourself. So if you are leading a team, keep leading the team rather than managing the team. People management is an art if it turns into a leadership. Otherwise, you can put a 5-year-old person on the table and say that, take this baseball bat and hit who you think doesn't work. I mean, you don't need to have any special skill, right? As far as you can wave it and you can hit it, you have done the being boss job. Motivation. Motivation is also a very important aspect to be successful in a company, to have a very productive company. But the problem with the motivation is that always we are hearing that, repeat this, yes I can. You go to the YouTube motivational talk and the people tell you very significant sentences that, yeah, you can do it, yeah, you can do it. Nobody tells you how you can do it. More than how you can do it, because it depends on the type of job, nobody tells you that who is the best motivational coach that you can find. You Google it and try to see if you can find a motivational coach in Tartu, in Tallinn, in Estonia, in Europe, in the world, that you can go next to the person and the person really tells you that how the motivation will happen. But you know what? Today I want to tell you a very big secret. I know one person who is a very, very famous motivational coach. And I would recommend you to meet this person. And it is you. Because this person is the only one who has no secret with you, who knows